Okay. Good evening to all of you, and good morning to everyone who are joining from Asia as well. So I would like to warmly welcome all of you for today's virtual book launch. There are respected monks, nuns, and lay people who are joining today's event. So I warmly welcome all of you for this virtual book launch. So this book is written by Bhante Sirinanda. The name of the book is The Gautama Buddha. This is the English translation of Budu Hamudro by Kanegama Saranankara Mahathera. This book is one of the well-respected books among Buddhists and non-Buddhists in Sri Lanka. Let me introduce myself. My name is Bhante Vijitha, and I will be the moderator for this event today. So I feel honored being here and joining this event as the moderator. Bhante Sirinanda is one of the best friends of me, and thank you, Bhante, for inviting me to this event. This event is organized by the Atlantic Theravada Buddhist Meditation Center. I'm sure this is going to be a very joyful moment, an educational moment. We have well-known speakers and scholars who will be providing speeches, and I'm sure that you will enjoy this moment. And this will help you to uplift your spirits and enhance your knowledge as well. So again, I warmly welcome all of you to this virtual book launch. The author of the book is, as you all know, Bhante, Reverend Bhante Giriya Sirinanda. He is the abbot and the president of Atlantic Theravada Buddhist Meditation Center. In addition, Bhante provides his valuable service as a prison chaplain, and he's one of the spiritual leaders. So according to the agenda, the first item is welcome speech and introductory speech by the author, Bhante Sirinanda. So before that, I would like to take a moment to wish Bhante a happy birthday. It's his birthday today, so that's amazing that he's doing this virtual book launch on his birthday. So thank you for doing this great work, and we all wish you a wonderful birthday. So let me cordially invite the author, Reverend Sirinanda, to address the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante Vijitha, and thank you all. Venerable Nayakatheros, senior monks and members of the Mahasangha, dear devotees, guests, and friends. At the outset of this Gautama Buddha book launch, let me start with a passage from the book as a pertinent introduction to the book. The Gautama Buddha addressing Venerable Ananda, the chief disciple. Ananda, I am now decayed, aged, senile, and old. I am 8 years old. Just as a decadent cart moves with the maintained strapped up wheels, similarly, my body is kept with the force of Arahant energy. Gautam Buddha, page number 26. Gautam Buddha, a supreme being, recognizing his decaying body as a human, which is said as illuminating in supreme human Arahant energy. I'm certain the original book, Budu Hamudro, by Venerable Pandit Ganegam Saranankara Thero is the book that many of you who are originated and lived in Sri Lanka have come across and read and gained insight from it. In my case, I'm not sure how many times I have read this book. 20 times, maybe before embarking the translation in 2015. The original Sinhala book received the Book of Excellence from Sri Lankan Government Award in 1975. Let me explain to you the journey towards this translation. After my immigration to Canada, many those who were born and bred in Canada asked me a single simple question. Is Buddha a god? In present tense. The phenomenon in theistic religions is that the originator is an almighty God. That phenomenon created the same perception about the Buddha. The metaphor of the turtle and the fish that Buddha used comes to my mind about this perception. Most of you may heard about this story. Upon slowly journeying through the ground for a very long time, a turtle described to his inmate fish in the pond about trees, buildings, humans, and animals that he saw. The pond-bound fish, looking through his fishy lens, asked, "Did you swim through all those trees and houses?" Those who were embedded in Western monotheistic religions tend to generalize foundation of theism to all other religions. After attempting to explain Buddha was a human being, I realized it was still a difficult concept to comprehend. Even after my hours-long explanation, questions such as, did Buddha created the world arose? It's not an easy task to explain who Buddha is without laying a foundation to understand or creating a path toward it. Rather than reinventing the wheel, I found a book by Pandit Saranankara Thera, who has used a simple Sinhala language textual interpretation to answer the question, who was the Buddha? Using simple, scriptural, textual, and archaeological facts. The essence of Buddha's teaching also described. As Buddha has said, the best way to learn who Buddha is by learning his teachings, the Dhamma. Although the English version is not merely a word-to-word translation from Sinhala to English, I have made a sincere attempt to restore the simpleness without inflating the fundamental fact in the original text. It's my hope to invoke English readers' understanding on Gautama Buddha through his teachings by offering this translated version. I am pleased to dedicate the English translation of this book, The Gautama Buddha, to Ahangama Ratanasiri Nayaka Thero, the chief incumbent of Toronto Mahavihara. The recognize of his over 3 decades of dedication, tireless attempt to spread Buddhism throughout the Canada, west to east, coast to coast. With much ado, I welcome you all, senior monks from Sri Lanka, Canada, and the USA, and also from Japan. Scholars in Buddhist study field, devotees from Atlantic region, especially devotees and friends from Halifax and Toronto, also Atlantic Region Correctional Chaplain Team, Spiritual Care Team of Ottawa Hospital and Halifax Hospital. Also, a special thanks to Ubesena family for printing this book. May I invite you all to the book launch program. Please enjoy it. Thank you. Teruwan saranai පිනතුනි. අපි හැම දෙනෙක්ගේම ආදරය දිනාගත් ගෞරවනීය පඬිත ගණේගම සරණංකර මාහිමියන් විසින් 1973 වසරේ රචනා කරපු 1975 වසරේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ රාජ්‍ය සම්මානයෙන් පිදුම් ලැබුව බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කෘතිය බටහිර පාඨකයන්ට ඔබින අයුරෙන් සංස්කරණය සහිතව ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවට පරිවර්තනය කිරීම සඳහා පසුගිය වසර 5ක පමණ කාලයක් මා සිදු කළ ප්‍රයත්නයක මල්පැල් දැරීමක් තමයි අද දින සිදුවන්නේ. එම පුස්තකය ගෞතම බුද්ධ ලෙසින් දොරට වැඩම වෙනුවෙන් වැඩම කළ මහා සංඝරත්නය ආරාධිත දේශකයන් දායක පිරිස සහ හිතවතුන් ඉතා ආදරයෙන් පිළිගනිමින් මෙතෙන් සටන් ඒ මහඟු කර්තව්‍යයට සම්බන්ධ වන ලෙස මම ඔබ සැමට කාරුණිකව ආරාධනා කර සිටිමි. හැම දිනෙකටම තෙරුවන් සරණයි.
Thank you, Bhante Sirinanda. That was a wonderful introduction. And I really like the simile that you brought up, the turtle and the fish. So thank you for reminding that beautiful simile. And I'm sure that, this book provides us lots of information about the Buddha, his teaching, and how to see the light in life through the teachings of the Buddha. So thank you, Bhante, for your wonderful speech and introduction. So let's move to the next item of the agenda. So the next item is the first keynote speech. Before that, I would like to invite Dr. Arunika Gunawardena to introduce the first keynote speaker. Dr. Arunika Gunawardena, she's a professor of biology at Dalhousie University. And thank you for joining with us today. So please let me invite you to introduce our first keynote speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhante. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce our first keynote speaker, Dr. Asanga Tilakaratne, an emeritus professor of Buddhist studies and a very dear friend of mine. Even though we both are in academia, I never had an opportunity to introduce my close friend Asanga because our fields are quite different. So Asanga, I am privileged to have this opportunity to introduce you today. Professor Asanga had made significant contribution to the field of Buddhist studies. I will briefly mention a few of his contributions. Professor Asanga is the founder of the Department of Buddhist Studies at the University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, and he served as the department head too. He also served as the director of the Postgraduate Institute of Pali and Buddhist Studies at the University of Kelaniya. Professor Asanga has often invited as a visiting professor to many different universities around the world. I first met Asanga when he came to Oxford in 1999, nearly 22 years ago, as a senior Commonwealth Fellow. Since then, we have become very good friends, actually not only with Asanga, but also with his family. I enjoy having conversations with the Asanga because they are meaningful and joyful. I always learn something from Asanga's wisdom. Professor Asanga has published more than 100 papers on Buddhist studies in both Sinhalese and English. The University of Colombo recently launched a ceremony to celebrate all the papers of Asanga Tilakaratne. All the papers were published in 8 volumes, I think in 3 in Sinhalese and 5 in English. Currently, Professor Tilakaratne serves as the editor-in-chief of Encyclopedia of Buddhism, published by the government of Sri Lanka. I don't know whether I could say Asanga is retired, because whenever I call him, he's busy with either teaching, writing, presenting, or editing. So Asanga, thank you very much for accepting our invitation to give the keynote speech today at our own Bante's book launch, despite your busy retirement life. Actually, Asanga was planning to attend this ceremony in person, but due to the current situation, it didn't happen. I hope Asanga will get another opportunity to visit us here in Halifax. Now we are ready to listen to Professor Asanga's keynote speech. Thank you.
The venerable members of the Mahasangha, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by thanking Venerable Padagiri Sirinatha here, the incumbent monk of Atlantic Theravada Buddhist Monastery, and also the members of Atlantic
Sorry to interrupt you. I think there is a technical issue that we can't hear the speech.
coordinating this invitation. Initially, we planned to deliver this speech by physically taking part in this joyous occasion by coming to Halifax and spending 2 days with our friends. But we know that the adverse conditions prevailing all over the world allow it. So, what can we do other than wishing for a healthier, safer, and more peaceful world? Having said that, let me get into my remarks about the translator of this book and also the book. The Venerable Padagiri Sirinatha, coming from Padagiri in Hambantota district, southern Sri Lanka, in fact quite close to my own native place, Semarang, has come a long way from Padagiri to Halifax, Canada. And having come, looking after the Buddhist community there, and also conducting Dharmadutta activities. Now, this particular book we are inaugurating today, I can see that it has a direct relevance and connection to what is supposed to be doing in your Buddhist center in Canada. I will come to that point a little later. Also, I note that the book has been dedicated to one of the leading monastic members of Theravada Buddhist monastic members of Canada, the most venerable Anga Brother Sri Thera, Anga Brother Sri Nayaka Thera, who is also the chief incumbent of Toronto Mahavihara, and he has been a friend of mine for almost last years, and he is virtually chief monk in Canada. So, and he has also written a substantial and long introduction to this book. Now, this shows that the translator of the book, Venerable Sirinatha, has the blessings of the Mahasangha and particularly the Sangha leaders of Canadian society, which I consider to be a very important Sinhala book named Budu Hamdruwo by one of the most members of the Sri Lanka Sangha, was published, I think, about almost 4 decades back. It is Ganegama Sri Saranankara Nayaka Chair. Now, when we look at this book, we can see that the original author of the book really wanted to bring out, highlight the human character of the book, human, the fact that he is a human being. Now, when we look at the very title of the book, in Sinhala Budu Hamdruwo, it's a very, very simple way to introduce the book. Now, usually we know in traditional societies, any particular religious leader is described in number of epithets, number of adjectives. It is the same with the Sri Lankan Buddhist tradition. But when we say Budu Hamdruwo, simply that is the way usually we would describe any Buddhist monk. Now, we have to remember that Buddha himself was a Buddhist monk among the other Buddhist monks. And also, he himself was an Arahant among the other Arahants. So, therefore, in that sense, we can see that the original author wished to highlight that Buddha was human. He is not a God or not an almighty God or not divine being who can allow favors to you or who can condemn you to hell or anything like that. So simply Buddha to be a human being, but of course not an ordinary human being, but an extraordinary human being. When we look at the early Buddhist literature, what we call the Pali Canon, in which the Theravada tradition is contained, we can see that the humanness of the Buddha has been highlighted quite often. We know that in the popular Buddhism, for example, you find the statues in very huge size, very tall, very big Buddha statues. And also in the later literature, we read the descriptions about the Buddha in superlative forms and about his great physique and things like that. And all these we can consider to be the result of the very serious religious faith. But apart from that, when we look at the early literature, we can see that the most physically, of course, he must have a great personality, but he was another ordinary human being. Now, there is one very interesting incident recorded in the text. Now, this is connected to one young religious mendicant called Puktusati. Now, this Puktusati, as a young mendicant and also very intelligent, he came to hear about the Buddha and he wanted to come and meet the Buddha. So, whatever the place, he started walking. Because we know that those days people walk long distances. He started walking towards Savatthi to see the Buddha. And it so happened that Buddha himself was on his charika, was vision of Dhamma, and he was also on the go. Now, that particular day, when it was night, Buddha, along with his other Sangha, decided to spend the night in the potter's hall. Now, potters who made pottery, and it seems that very large halls, so usually these walking people and the religious people would spend their night. Now, Buddha was lying down and lying down in his potter's hall to spend the night. And then this young Puktusati was also passing, and he also stopped there to spend the night. And it so happened that both the Puktusati were lying side by side. and it was in the kind of darkness. They got into some kind of conversation. In the course of conversation, Buddha discovered that this young man was going to see him. And Uppusati did not know to whom he was talking to, right? So then the two got involved in a conversation. Gradually, Buddha guided this young mendicant to the Dhamma and taught him Dhamma. Only at the conclusion of the Dhamma discussion, this young Uppusati discovered that he has really bumped into the same person, very same person he is going to meet. And then, he was so happy, subsequently he became a follower of the Buddha, disciple of Buddha. There's a story after that. But the point I would like to highlight in this context is, when these two people were side by side, you can see that there was nothing physically sort of extraordinary person can see in the darkness or something. But I'm not referring to his personality. You look at the person's eyes, the way and all these things must have been extraordinary, but he's an ordinary person. Now, what is this point about ordinary person? What is the religious significance of this? I would like to refer to another discourse. It's again a very, very important discourse found in the Samyutta Nikaya, where Buddha talks about the path he taught to the world, namely the Eightfold Path. And by following this path, whoever who follows the path is expected to realize nirvana. Now, about the path and its fruit, its ultimate result, nirvana, Buddha uses a very, very interesting pair of simile. He talks about the path as an ancient path. In Pali language, we use the term Purana Anjasa. Purana Anjasa is the ancient path. Now, the nirvana, which you realize after following the path, would be referred to as the ancient city. Now, the idea is that you follow the ancient path, and then by following the ancient path, you realize or you reach this ancient city called nirvana. Now, the interesting point here is this discourse. Buddha is described as the person who discovered this path on his own and then followed the path and he reached nirvana. Now, having reached nirvana, Buddha taught this path to people, whoever wanted to listen to it. Now, in this discourse, what is interesting is Buddha compares himself to a pioneer. Now, it's like this. Suppose a person goes around in the jungle and then he bumps into a ancient road because abandoned by people because not used for a long time. Now, this man follows this ancient path and then he ends up in an ancient city. So he goes around the ancient city and looks at it and enjoys it. He comes back. Having come back, he tells his other fellow villagers, look, there is an ancient abandoned path. If you follow that path, you will end up in a beautiful ancient city, and you all can go and enjoy ski. Now, Buddha compares himself to this particular person. Now, I think this is something very, very interesting when you particularly look at the concept of Buddhist concept of religious teacher. Now, who is the religious teacher? Now, religious teacher is not a person who can take you by your hand to heaven or give you heaven as a reward or push you, kick you to the hell as a punishment. The Buddhist concept of religious leader is not that type of person, but if I may use that Buddhist concept is Buddha as a pioneer. Now, what is the difference between the Buddha and the disciple? Now, Buddha as the pioneer followers would listen to the Dhamma. Dhamma is really the roadmap. Having listened to the roadmap, they will follow the same roadmap and they will end up with the same ancient city. Now, something very important for us to remember in this context is that there is no qualitative difference between the two ancient city experienced by Buddha and the Arahant, any other disciple. They reached the same ancient city. Only difference is Buddha is the pioneer who did it first. Of course, that shows that there is a substantial difference between the intellectual ability and the perfections completed according to Buddhist balance, paramita. Now all these things are there, but the significant aspect of this whole story is that Buddha as a pioneer showed the way all the others can follow the path. Now this particular idea about the religious leader is something very, very important. Now looking from this point of view, I can really see by Venerable Sirinatha puts this particular text to be translated to the Canadian society. Now, one thing very important I see in this choice is that Venerable Sirinatha has shown that he has not brought in another competing or contending divine being to this society, but he has brought this human being. So it is not a competition between the two different beliefs of God or anything like that. So what he has brought is a human being, but the human being is not an ordinary human being, because ultimately in the human history, to realize that the path and the ultimate goal of the path, both these things lie in us, not from outside. But basically, religions always look outside. Look at the sky. Look at the Savior, other than yourself. But here the interesting point is Buddhism wants us to look at ourselves. Now, in one very touching moment, Buddha says to a young group of people, Buddha's exact word was Attana Kaveseyata. You discover yourself. You look for yourself. Now, this young group happened to be in a pleasure garden. They had some companions with them. One of the companions had fled away. So these young people were looking for that lost companion. And then Buddha happened to be sitting under a tree. Then they asked of Buddha whether they saw this companion. Then at that moment, Buddha addressed this young group of people, and he taught them Dhamma. The crux of the Dhamma is Attana Kaveseyata. You discover yourself. You look for yourself. You don't look for anything external. Now, in other words, we know that Nirvana, the ultimate goal of this religious practice, is described to be the highest happiness. Highest happiness. So the goal of religion is happiness. Now, the message of the Buddha is that happiness has to be ultimately found within yourself. So nobody else is responsible for your happiness or unhappiness for that matter. Ultimately, it is you who are responsible. The Dhammapada, the famous Buddha says, you yourself have to do it. The Buddhas are only the pointers of the way. So Buddha will point you to the way. Buddha will guide you. But of course, Buddha will not grant you anything. That aspect has to be generated by yourself. I think I Buddha translation, you can see in the translation in this book, all the topics are about the Buddha's extraordinary qualities as a human being, not as a divine. But at the same time, it shows that heights a human being can achieve by following moral path. So therefore, I congratulate Venerable Translator, Venerable Padagiri Sirinanda for this choice of this book. And I can see that this is a translation. A translation requires specific particular types of skills. We know that translation requires you to understand the original and then put into another language on your own understanding. So translation requires understanding and also correct understanding and putting into a particular language. So we know that in our day-to-day life, even when one is listening to me now, but you always translate into your own language, even though we speak the same language in this country. So the translations can be numerous. In other words, we know that nobody can do the ultimate translation or ultimate perfect translation. So everybody can improve on any translation, but I can see that the Venerable Padagiri Sirinanda has done an admirable job in translating. It's very, very important text into English language, and I see the volume with the statues, with the various artistic representations of the Buddha throughout the 2000 years of history and throughout many Buddhist world. So therefore, valuable handbook to be kept in the living room of all of you has come out. So I should like to congratulate the Venerable Translator and all those who contributed this important work in so many ways. So without taking any further of your time, I would like to conclude my short remarks by congratulating Venerable Translator and also being a monk and also at the same time doing his own academic studies. Maybe I will wish that next time I will be get the opportunity. I will be talking at the inauguration of his own academic work, maybe research work, when that type of work is inaugurated. So I wish and I hope his academic career will flourish. So congratulating him, I would like to conclude by wishing good health and safety to all the members of the Mahasangha gathered here and all of you who are gathered here. So I wish you all good health, happiness, and peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Asanga Tilakaratne. That was a wonderful speech, and I really like that how you narrated the story of the Buddha as how you highlighted that he is a human being, as Bhante Sirinanda talk about in his in the book, and it really was interesting to hear how you explain Buddha is not a savior but a teacher. And also I like the fact that you explain one of the significant teachings of the Buddha, that is we have to find happiness within, and that we all have that capacity to attain self-realization. So thank you for that wonderful speech. And Asanga Tilakaratne has been a great teacher for many Buddhist monks and Buddhist students and all around Sri Lanka and out of country as well. So you are doing a great service And thank you for being here with us, and thank you for doing this wonderful speech. So according to the agenda, so the next item is our second keynote speech. And I would like to invite Mr. Don Gunasekara. He lives in United States. He's a chartered electric engineer, and he's a specialist in satellite communication, and he's holding over 65 US patents. So he's a good a devotee, a friend of our next keynote speaker, Dr. Mawarale Badiyatero. So I invite Mr. Don Gunasekara to introduce our next keynote speaker. Thank you.
Good evening, Venerable Naikateros, Buddhist scholars, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure, privilege, and excitement for me to introduce Sastradipati, Most Venerable Dr. Mawarale Badiyatero. Venerable Badiyatero is the founder and the chief incumbent of the Bhikkhu or Monks Training Center known as Arya Niketana, located in outskirts of capital city Colombo. There are more than 90 monks residing and being trained at the Arya Niketana to protect the future of Buddhist order. In addition, he is leading many social services and developing forest monasteries to bring mindful steps to happiness as well. He's the founder and chairman of Abhimani Social Welfare Development Foundation, chairman of the Abhimani Children and Women Development Foundation, founder of Tangol Forest Monastery. It's one of the meditation centers in southern Sri Lanka, founder of Dixon Silva Meditation Center, founder of Migadaya Forest Monastery, also a meditation center. And he also is the advisor to Sri Lanka Eye Donation Society, as well as honorary secretary of Amarapura Sector Scholarly Bhikkhu Council. He also travels frequently to lecture and leads retreats throughout the world. He has been to US and Canada many times. At present, Venerable Badiyatero is living in Tokyo at Kanagawa Sugata Buddhist Center, rendering his wonderful Dharma services while learning Japanese. Please join me welcoming Sastradipati, Most Venerable Dr. Mawarale Badiyatero. Atigauraniya Maha Sangharatnයෙන් සහ සම්භාවනීය අමතංගෙන් අවසරයි. අපි තා ගෞරවනීය අරයම් කළා අතුරුගේ ආර්ය නිකේතනයේ මෙන්ම ආර්ය නිකේතන සංකල්පයේ නිර්මාතෘ විචිත්ත ධර්ම කතික ශාස්ත්‍රපති දර්ශන විශාරද ආචාර්ය උපාධියෙන් පිදුම් ලැබූ අතිගෞරවනීය අවසරයි නම් කීමට පූජ්‍ය මාවරලේ බද්දිය ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේට උන්වහන්සේ අපේ සාදුකාර පවත්වමින් නමස්කාර පූජා පෙරදරිව පාදාභි වන්දනයෙන් යුතුව පිළිගනු ලැබෙනවා. අවසරයි අපේ හාමුදුරනේ.
තෙරුවන් සරණයි. විශේෂයෙන්ම මා පළමුවෙන්ම අවසර ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා අතිපූජනීය අපේ අහංගම රත්නසිරි නායක මහා ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයාණන් වහන්සේගෙනුත් ඒ වගේම විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ ආනන්ද මාහිමිපාණන් වහන්සේ අතුරුලි ආනන්ද මාහිමිපාණන් වහන්සේ ඒ වගේම අපේ කල්යාණ මිත්‍ර කිරින්ද විජිත ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ඒ වගේම අද මේ වටිනා ධර්ම ග්‍රන්ථයේ පරිවර්තක ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ වන අපේ සහෝදර පූජනීය ශාස්ත්‍රපති බන්දගිරි සිරිනන්ද ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේගෙන් අපේ නමස්කාර පෙරදරිව අවසර ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා. කෙටි අනුශාසනාවක් මේ වටිනා සම්භාවනීය සභාව තුලදී සිද්ධ කරන්න. විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ මහාචාර්ය අසංග තිලකරත්න මැතිතුමා ලංකාවේ ඉඳලා තාම පාන්දර වුණත් බොහෝම සතුටින් සම්බන්ධ වෙලා අපි හැම දෙනාගේමත් ගුරුවරයෙක් එතුමා ඊටාම වටින දේශනයක් මෙහි ප්‍රධාන දේශනයේ ලෙස ඉංග්‍රීසි මාධ්‍යයෙන් සිද්ධ කරන බොහෝ කරුණු අන්තර්ගතව තාම ලස්සනට සිද්ධ කරන්නට යෙදුණා. එතුමාගෙනුත් අවසරයට ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා අපේ සදහවත් පින්වතුනි. අපේ සිරිනන්ද හාමුදුරුවෝ මගෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටියේ මේ උන්වහන්සේගේ විශාල වෑයමක ප්‍රතිඵලය සමාජයට දායාද කරන වෙලාවේ ආශිර්වාදාත්මකව කෙටි අනුශාසනාවක් සිද්ධ කරලා දෙන්න ඒක ලොකු ශක්තියක් කියලා. මේ වගේ සභාවක කතාවක් පැවැත්වුවේ නැතත් අපි සිරිනන්ද හාමුදුරුවන්ට හදවතින්ම ආශිර්වාද කරනවා. අද උන්වහන්සේගේ ජන්මදිනය උන්වහන්සේට සුබ උපන් දිනයක් වේවා කියලා හදවතින්ම අපි ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. මේ පොත බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කියන පොත ගණේගම සරණංකර හාමුදුරුවෝ ලියපු ඒ පොත පළමුවෙන්ම මා කියුවේ මට අවුරුදු 20 විතර. අපේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කියන උත්තමයා කවුද කියලා තේරුම් ගන්න. ගණේගම හාමුදුරුවන් ලියපු බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කියන මේ පොත බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ පිළිබඳව විවිධ පැතිකඩ ඔස්සේ දකින්න අවබෝධ කරගන්න ඒ උතුම් මහා ශාස්ත්‍රවරයා පිළිබඳව ඒ උතුම් ගුරුවරයා පිළිබඳව මහා ශ්‍රද්ධාවක් ගෞරවයක් ඇති වෙන්න අවංකවම අවුරුදු 20 විතර මගේ වයස විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයට ඇතුල් වෙන්නත් කලින් කියවන්න ලැබිච්ච එකෙන් මහා ශ්‍රද්ධාවක් ඇති වුණේ. එච්චරටම සමහර මාත්‍රිකා කියවලා ඉවර වෙනකොට ඒ ඇති වෙන සතුට ඒ ඇති වෙන පැහැදීම ඇස් වලින් කඳුළු ගලාගෙන යන මට්ටමේම එකක් වුණු බව අදටත් මට මතක් වෙනවා. ඒ වගේ වටින අර්ථාන්විත කෘතියක් ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවෙන් පරිවර්තනය කරලා ඉංග්‍රීසි මාධ්‍යයෙන් ලෝකයාට දායාද කිරීම ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කියවන ලෝකයාට දායාද කිරීම අපේ සිරිනන්ද හාමුදුරුවෝ මේ ශාසනය වෙනුවෙන් කරපු මහා යුතුයකමක් බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ වෙනුවෙන් කරපු මහා පූජාවක් විදියට තමයි මම පුද්ගලිකව මේ වෑයම දකින්නේ. මේ වෑයම පිළිබඳව කල්පනා කරන්නේ. මේ සභාවට එකතු වෙලා ඉන්න අපේ වියතුන් වගේම වන්දනීය මහා සංඝරත්නයත් දන්නවා බටහිරට බුදුදහම මුලින්ම පැමිණෙන්නේ අපේ ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය තේරවාදී සම්ප්‍රදායේ විහාරස්ථානවල සායනහන්සලගේ. නමුත් බටහිර තුල බටහිර ලෝකයේ යුරෝපයේ බුදුදහම පිළිබඳව උද්‍යෝගයක් ආකර්ෂණයක් ඇති වෙන්නේ අපේ සම්ප්‍රදායේ හෝ ලංකාව තුලින් වැඩම කරපු ස්වාමින්වහන්සේලා ඉදිරිපත් කරන දේශනා කෙරෙහි හෝ එවැනි වැඩසටහන් වලට වඩා දලයි ලාමා හාමුදුරුවෝ වැනි ස්වාමින්වහන්සේලාගේ සම්ප්‍රදායත් එවැගේම අජාන් ෂා හාමුදුරුවන් නිර්මාණය කරපු තායිලන්තයේ වැඩ හිටපු අරණ්‍යක මහා ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ කෙනෙක් උත්තමයෙක්. උන්වහන්සේලාගේ සම්ප්‍රදායක් තමයි ලෝකය තුල බොහොම බලගතු වුණේ. ලෝකය තුල ඇත්තටම ජනප්‍රිය වුණේ. ප්‍රචලිත වුණේ. තාම සල්ප පිරිසක් අපේ පන්තේ ගුණරත්න මහා ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ ඇතුළු තාම සල්ප ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලා පිරිසක් තමයි බටහිර සහ යුරෝපා ජාතීන් අතර අපේ රටෙන් වැඩම කරපු ධර්ම ප්‍රචාරක ධර්ම දූත සේවයේ නියැලෙන උතුමන් වහන්සේලා ලෙස විශාල ප්‍රසිද්ධියක් සහ මහා මෙහෙවරක් කරන්න පුළුවන් මට්ටමට ගොඩ නැගුණේ. උන්වහන්සේලා අදටත් මේ මෙහෙවර සිද්ධ කරනවා. බොහෝ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලා ලෝකයේ රටවල් වල වැඩ වාසය කරනවා. උන්වහන්සේලාට සිද්ධ වුණේ වැඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් අපේ සිංහල බෞද්ධ ශ්‍රී ලාංකික පිරිසගේ ආධ්‍යාත්මික දියුණුවත් සංස්කෘතික ආගමික උරුමයන් ආරක්ෂා කරමින් ඒවා ඊළඟ පරම්පරාවට දායාද කරන දහම් පාසල් ආදිය පවත්වාගෙන යමින් එවැනි ශාසනික මෙහෙවරක් කරන්නට තමයි බහුතරයක් ලංකාවෙන් වැඩම කරපු අපේ ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලාට සිද්ධ වුණේ. ඒ සේවයත් සුළුපටුයි කියලා නම් කාටවත් කියන්න බෑ. හැබැයි ධර්මදූත සේවාවෙහි මුඛ්‍ය අරමුණක් වෙන්න ඕන අපි යම් රටක ඉඳලා තව රටකට වැඩම කරනකොට ඒ රට තුල ශාසනය තථාගතයන් වහන්සේගේ දේශනාව තහවුරු කිරීම. දේශනාව තථාගතයන් වහන්සේගේ ධර්මය ඒ රටවැසියන්ට අඳුන්වලා දීම. මහා මහින්ද මහරහතන් වහන්සේ ඇතුළු ධර්මදූතයින් වහන්සේලා සිද්ධ කරනු ලැබුවේ එවැනි මෙහෙවරක්. අපේ සම්ප්‍රදායික ඓතිහාසික මූලාශ්‍ර වලට අනුව අපිට පේනවා මහා මහින්ද මහරහතන් වහන්සේ හෙළබසි ධර්මය ලක්දිව වැසියාට කියලා දුන්නාය කියන එක. එතකොට ඒ රටේ ජනතාවගේ භාෂා මාධ්‍යයේ අපේ තථාගතයන් වහන්සේගේ ධර්මය sannivedanaya කරන්නට සමත් වෙච්ච පිරිස තමයි ඇත්තටම කිව්වොත් ඒ රටවල් වල ඒ රටවල් වලදී ශාසනය තුල ස්ථාවර ඒ කියන්නේ රටවල් වල ගොඩනැගිච්ච බෞද්ධ සම්ප්‍රදායේ ස්ථාවරත්වයක් ඇති කරන්නට යෙදුණා. අපේ පිරිස ආරක්ෂා කරගෙන සිංහල ශ්‍රී ලාංකික පිරිස වෙනුවෙන් මෙහෙවරක් කිරීම එක වෙන කාර්යයක්. ඒක කළ යුතු එකක්. නමුත් අර ලෝකයාට සද්ධර්මයේ පණිවුඩය ගෙන යාම කියන එක සිද්ධ වුණේ ඊටාම අල්පයයි. ශ්‍රී ලාංකීය භික්ෂුන් වහන්සේලා වෙතින් මම හිතනවා ඒකට බලපාන්න ඇති කාර්ය බහුලත්වය. මොකද විශාල ශ්‍රී ලාංකික පිරිසක් හැම රටකම ඉන්නවා. ඔවුන්ගේ කටයුතු වලට ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේලා යෙදෙනකොට එන කාර්ය බහුලකම්. ඊට අමතරව භාෂා හැසිරවීමේ තිබෙන අපිට තිබෙන යම් යම් අපහසුතා ඒකට බලපාන්න ඇති හේතු අතර මේ ආදී විවිධ හේතු මත අපේ තේරවාදී ශ්‍රී ලාංකික භික්ෂු සම්ප්‍රදායෙන් තාම අල්ප පිරිසක් තමයි බටහිර ලෝකය යුරෝපයේ මිනිස්සු අඳුනාගත්තේ. මට ඒකයි කියලා දෙන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මම මේ කතාව මෙතෙන්ට ගන්නේ ඇයි? අපේ සිරිනන්ද හාමුදුරුවෝ අද මං හිතනවා අද තමයි උන්වහන්සේගේ අලුත් ගමනකට හරියටම දොර අරින්නේ අද. අද මේ ලෝකයාට ඉදිරිපත් කරන මේ මහා වටිනා ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ ධර්ම ග්‍රන්ථයත් එක්ක තව අවුරුදු 20කින් අපි ජීවිතුන් අතර හිටියොත් සිරිනන්ද හාමුදුරුවෝ වැඩිහිටි මහා යතිවරයෙක් ලෙස උතුරු ඇමරිකාවේ විතරක් නෙමෙයි ලෝකයේ බොහෝ රටවල ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවෙන් ධර්මය සොයා යන ශ්‍රාවක පිරිස අතර මම විශ්වාස කරනවා අග තැනකටපත් වේ තව අවුරුදු 20කින් විතර. මොකද උන්වහන්සේට අවශ්‍ය කරන භාෂා ඥානය උන්වහන්සේ ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කැනඩාවේ ඉගෙනගෙන උපාධියක් සම්පූර්ණ කළා. ඊට පස්සේදී උන්වහන්සේ දැන් වටින ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ ග්‍රන්ථයක් පරිවර්තනය කරමින් උන්වහන්සේගේ ජන්මදිනය දවසේ අලුත් පියවරක් තබන්න උන්වහන්සේ ඉස්සරහට අවිල්ල තියෙනවා. මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා උන්වහන්සේ තව අවුරුදු 20කින් ඉන්න තැන දකින්න අපිට වාසනාව ලැබෙන්න කියලා අද මේ සභාවේ ඉන්න අය. හැමෝටම ඒ සඳහා දිගාසිරි ලැබෙන්න කියලා මම ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. මොකද අපේ හාමුදුරුවෝ යන දුර අනිවාර්යෙන්ම මම දන්නවා. මට ඒක හොඳට දැනෙනවා. උන්වහන්සේගේ ගාව තිබෙන භාෂා දැනුම විතරක් නෙමෙයි ඒකට අවශ්‍ය ඩිසිප්ලින් එකක් තියෙනවා උන්වහන්සේට. විනයක් තියෙනවා උන්වහන්සේට. උන්වහන්සේට හොඳ කරුණාවන්ත උදාර හදවතක් තියෙනවා. කොටිම මනුස්සකම තියෙන හාමුදුරු කෙනෙක්. හාමුදුරුකම වගේම මනුස්සකම තියෙනවා. භික්ෂු ආකල්පත් ඒ වගේම ධර්මඥානය මව්බස වගේම ජාත්‍යන්තර භාෂාවක් තාම හොඳින් හැසිරවීමේ තිබෙන කුසලතාවය ලස්සනට දෙයක් කියලා දෙන්න තිබෙන අපූර්ව හැකියාවත් පරාර්ථකාමී බවත් මේ සියල්ල එකතු වෙනකොට මම විශ්වාස කරනවා කාලයකට පස්සේ අපේ ශාසනයට මේ ථේරවාදී බුදුසසුනට පිරිමැහෙන හාමුදුරු කෙනෙක් නිර්මාණය වෙමින් එනවා කියලා. අනිත් කාරණේ තමයි මම මේ කාර්යභාරය ගැන තව සතුටු වෙන බටහිර ලෝකයා ඔය මොනවා කිව්වත් බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ අඳුනගෙන තියෙන්නේ බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ ධර්මය අඳුනගෙන තියෙන්නේ එච්චර පුළුල් තැනකින් නෙමෙයි. ඒක තමයි යථාර්ථය. ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇත්තටම කිව්වොත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ එක අන්තයක හිටපු අය කාමසුකල්ලිකානුයෝගයේ උපරිම අන්තයට ඇවිල්ලා ඉඳපු අය ඒගොල්ලෝ හිතනවා දැන් මේ බුද්ධ ආගම කියන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ අත්කිලමතානුයෝගී කියලා. මේ ඔක්කොම අතෑරලා දාපු කිසිම දෙයකට සම්බන්ධයක් නැති මේ අමුතුම ජීවිතයක් ගෙවන මහා මේ ගූඪ ජීවන ක්‍රමයක් වගේ එකක් විදියට තමයි බොහෝ හැම බටහිරයාටම නෙමෙයි බොහෝ බටහිරයා බුදුදහම සහ බුදුහාඳුරෝ තේරුම් ගනිමින් ඉන්නේ ඒ අර්ථයෙන්. ඉතින් අපේ ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාවෙන් ලියවිච්ච පොතපත තුල වුණත් බටහිරට අඳුන්වලා දෙන බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ සහ බටහිරට අඳුන්වලා දෙන බුදු දහම හුදෙක්ම භාවනාමය පැත්ත විතරක් අරණ්‍යක පැත්ත විතරක් අවධාරණය වෙන පොතපත සහ ධර්ම කොටස් තමයි වැඩිපුරම සංනිවේදනය වුනේ. මම හිතනවා බටහිර මිනිසා උතුරු ඇමරිකානුවා ආස්වාදයට පත් වෙයි කියලා ගණේගම හාමුදුරුවන්ගේ බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ පොත ඉංග්‍රීසි බසින් අපේ සිරිනන්ද සාහිණහන්සේ කරපු මේ පරිවර්තනය කියවනකොට මං හිතනවා බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ ගැන වෙන සාකච්ඡාවක් ඇති වෙන්න බටහිර මේ පොත හේතු වෙනවා. හාමුදුරුවෝ කරපු වැඩේට පින් සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ එතන තමයි. මොකද නැත්තම් මේ බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ අනු එක්තරා විදියකට ගත්තොතින් ප්‍රායෝගික නැති කෙනෙක් ලෙස තමයි වෙනමම තලයක ඉන්න කෙනෙක් ලෙස තමයි බොහෝ බටහිර ජාතීන්ට බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ වැටහිලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක වෙනස් කරන්න මේ කෘතිය තුල අවශ්‍ය කරන උපදේශනේ මඟ පෙන්වීම තියෙනවා. මේක නිකන් ලියපු හැල්ලක් නෙමෙයි මේ කෘතිය. මේ කෘතිය අපේ සරණංකර හාමුදුරුවෝ ලියපු නියම ශාස්ත්‍රීය ලියවිල්ල. හරි උපුටා දැක්වීම් පෙන්නලා පෙළ දහමෙන් හරියට උන්වහන්සේගේ හිතලු නෙමෙයි. තාම ලස්සන බසකින් තාම ශාස්ත්‍රීයව කරපු වටිනම පොතක්. මේකෙන් මන් දන්නවා බටහිර ලෝකය තුළ අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මේ පොත ප්‍රචලිත වුණොත් ගෞතම බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේ සහ ගෞතම බුදුරජාණන් වහන්සේගේ උතුම් ධර්මයේ පිළිබඳව වෙන කෝණයකින් බලන්න, වෙන මානයකින් බලන්න, තව පැත්තකින් බලන්න බටහිර ලෝකයා පොළඹවන වටින උතුම් ග්‍රන්ථයක් ථේරවාදී භික්ෂුන් වහන්සේලාගේ පැත්තෙන් ලියවෙන. ඒ නිසා ඔබ වහන්සේගේ පුද්ගලික දියුණුවට මේ පොත පරිවර්තනය කිරීමෙන් දොරක් විවර කරනවා විතරක් නෙමෙයි, අපි සරණ ගියපු, අපි පිළිපදින, අපි අනුගමනය කරන, අපි වඳින, අපි ගරු කරන අපේ උතුම් ගුරුවරයාගේ සැබෑ తত্ত্বය ලෝකයට එලි කරන්නට අපේ ගණේගම නායක හාමුදුරුවෝ තරපු වෑයම තාම ඉහළ පියවරකින් මේ ලෝකයට දායාද කරන්න ඔබ වහන්සේ දරලා තියෙන මේ වෑයම විශිෂ්ට එකක්. ඒකට ශාසනයේ වැඩ ඉන්න හාමුදුරුවරු විදියට අපි කාගෙත් හදවතින් නැගෙන නමස්කාරය, ගෞරවය, ස්තුතිය, පුණ්‍යානුමෝදනාව ඔබ වහන්සේට පිරිනැමෙනවා. ඔබ වහන්සේට විතරක් නෙමෙයි, ඔබ වහන්සේ උතෙන්ට ගෙනාපු අපේ හංගම නායක හාමුදුරුවන්ට, ඔබ වහන්සේගේ ගුරු දේවෝත්තමයාණන් වහන්සේ අපේ ආනන්ද නායක හාමුදුරුවෝ විතරකුත් නෙමෙයි, ටොරොන්ටෝ මහා විහාරේ දායක ඇත්තන්ට, ඒ වගේම අපේ නොස්කෝසියාවල අපේ ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයාණන් වහන්සේ වැඩ වාසය කරන ඒ උතුම් වූ සේනාසනය නිර්මාණය කරපු, ඒක පවත්වගෙන යමින් අපේ සායන් වහන්සේගේ මේ ධර්ම ශාස්ත්‍රීය මෙහෙවරට මහා යෝධ ශක්තියක් ලබා දෙන අපේ දායක පිරිසට අපි හදවතින්ම පින් දෙනවා. මෙවැනි උතුම් බුද්ධ පුත්‍රයෙක් නිර්මාණය කරන්න ඔබ වහන්සේලා සහ ඔබලා දක්වපු දායකත්වය අද සතුටු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ditta dhamma වේදනීයවම ඔබ ආනිසංසය භුක්ති විඳිනවාද? අපේ සායන් වහන්සේගේ මේ සාර්ථකත්වයත් එක්ක, මේ තබන මහා ශ්‍රේෂ්ඨ පියවරත් එක්ක. ඉතින් අවසාන වශයෙන් අද වගේ දවසක බන්දගිරිය වගේ ඈත පිටිසර ගමක මීට අවුරුදු 30කට එහා කාලයක් කියන්නේ අතිශයින් දුෂ්කර කාලයක්. ඒ වගේ කාලෙක ඔබ වහන්සේ මේ ලෝකෙට බිහි කරපු ආදරණීය අම්මටත් පින් දෙමින්, ආදරණීය තාත්තටත් පින් දෙමින්, හදවතින්ම ඒ ආශිර්වාදය ඒ අත්තන්ගේ මෙලෝ පරලෝ ජීවිතවලට ලැබේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමින්, අපේ හාමුදුරුවෝ මේ පොත විතරක් පරිවර්තනය කරලා නවතින්න එපා. තව වටින ධර්ම ග්‍රන්ථ රැසක් තිබෙනවා. ලෝකයාට ඔබ වහන්සේගේ භාෂා ඥානයත් පරිවර්තනමය කුසලතාවයත් උපකාර කරගෙන ලෝකයට දායාද කරන්න, ඒකත් කරන්න ඕනි. ඒකට ඔබ වහන්සේට ශක්තිය තියෙනවා. ඒ විතරකුත් නෙමෙයි, ඔබ වහන්සේගේම වටින ධර්ම ග්‍රන්ථ කීපයක් ලෝකයට ඔබ වහන්සේ දායාද කරાવી. අපි ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන ඔබ වහන්සේට ඒ උතුම් මෙහෙවර කරන්නට ලැබේවා කියලා. උතුරු ඇමරිකාවේ විතරක් නෙමෙයි, මුළු බටහිර ලෝකයේ, යුරෝපයේ, ඒ වගේම සමස්ත ඉංග්‍රීසි බසින් මේ ධර්මයේ සොයා යන ලෝකවාසී ජනතාවට ඒ දහම් පහන දල්වන්ට ඔබ වහන්සේට ශක්තිය ලැබේවා, ධෛර්යය ලැබේවා. තුනුරුවන්ගේ අනන්ත ආශිර්වාදයෙන්, ඒ සූවිසි ගුණ බලයෙන් සියලු යහපත වේවා. මේ කරපු පින ඔබ වහන්සේට නිවන් දකින්නටද පාරමිතාවක් වේවා. සාදු සාදු සාදු. හැමෝටම තුන් සරණයි. අපේ ගුණසේකර පියාණන් ඇතුළු මා පිළිගැනීම සිද්ධ කරමු.
Please accept our sincere thank Bante Badhir. That was one of the wonderful speeches that I heard. And Bante Badhir is one of the well-known Dhamma speakers in our motherland, Sri Lanka. And his service is immeasurable. And thank you for taking time to attend this special event. And thank you for sharing your insight with us. As we are coming to slowly reaching to the end of our event today, you might be wondering how to, receive a copy of this book. So if you check the chat box of this Zoom, you can see the link and you can request a copy of this book. Also, if you are watching online, you may see on Facebook and live streaming the link that you can request a copy of this book. So at the end of this event, I will provide you more information regarding that. As we are moving to the next item, I want to highlight a few topics of this book, few chapters. One is the Buddha is an admirable person, not a god. Another chapter is the Buddha is the greatest teacher. And another chapter is the Buddha is the ancient authority of socialism and democracy. So there are such beautiful chapters that talk about the Buddha and his teaching. So once you receive a copy, I'm sure that you will enjoy a lot and learn a lot about the Buddha. So the next item of our agenda is a short message from Most Venerable Ahangama Ratanasiri Nayaka Thero. So Ahangama Ratanasiri Nayaka Thero, he is one of the senior monks living in Canada. So he's the abbot of Toronto Mahavihara. So he has been here in Canada over 30 years. And especially this book is dedicated to our Most Venerable Ahangama Ratanasiri Nayaka Thero and his immeasurable service. So I warmly and respectfully welcome Nayaka Thero for this event. And may I invite you, Nayaka Hamdro, to address the audience. Thank you.
Venerable Mahasangha, keynote speakers, Venerable Dr. Mahavarle Badhir Mahathera, Professor Asanga Tilakaratne, one of my good friends, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear children, I consider it as a great honor to take part in this prestigious book launch. I really appreciate Venerable Pandagiriya Sirinanda Thero's enthusiastic efforts to translate into English the popular book Budu Hamduro, authored by erudite monk, the Most Venerable Ganegam Saranankara Mahathero, Nayaka Thero. It is a timely effort to fill in the void of profound and meaningful books written in English about the Buddha. I knew Venerable Sirinanda when he was young. I met him at the Dakshinarama, Mount Lavinia, studying under Venerable Aturliya Ananda Nayaka Thera, chief monk of the Nalanda Monastic School, Pirivana, and the temple. And I was amazed at the enormous talent of the young Samanera, novice monk, who displayed maturity and intellectual curiosity beyond his years. After coming to Canada, he spent nearly 2 years in our temple, performing religious duties at the Toronto Mahavihar. I was an admirer of his determination and committed nature, and I am really surprised to see him developing into a very well-educated young monk, determined to engage in Buddhist missionary duties. To set an example, he went to Halifax on the invitation of Dr. Indra Veerasinghe and his wife, Professor Sarna Veerasinghe, with the idea of establishing a Buddhist temple. While living in an apartment with generous support of the devotees, he was attending to religious services. While looking for a suitable place to start a new temple, he found an abandoned church and converted it to a beautiful Buddhist temple for the benefit of Sri Lankans and those who are interested in Buddhism living in the 4 provinces on the Atlantic coast of Eastern Canada. The Buddhist population of these provinces meet in the temple regularly to listen to the Dhamma talks and attend meditation programs, also using the opportunity to offer alms on special days to seek blessings on their special life events and offer alms in memory of the departed loved ones. Despite his busy schedule in the community, he continued to study and obtain his master's in religious studies from the St. Mary's University in Halifax. Recently, Venerable Sirinanda focused his attention in another direction, and now he is working as a Buddhist chaplain at the Spring Hill Correctional Institution on the East Coast. Judging by all his activities, I know that the young monk is an extremely busy person. And I must say, I admire deeply his exemplary commitment and dedication to translate and publish a Buddhist book of significant importance to our noble religion and the modern society. At the conclusion, I wish him good health and long life to work for the uplift of the Buddha Sasana and the world. May you all be well and happy. Thank you.
Please accept our sincere veneration, Most Venerable Nayaka Thera. Thank you so much for your presence, and it's so nice to see you. Even though we are not able to gather, seeing you virtually is bringing so much happiness. Thank you so much for sharing that insightful message with us. As we are moving to the next item, I want to highlight another 2 chapters in this book. When we think about the Buddhas, sometimes what we think is he had a very peaceful and calm life. But when we look at the Buddha's life, he faced enormous challenges. So one chapter is dedicated and named as "The Buddha is the social worker who faced the greatest abuse. Also, we see there are interest in psychological aspect of the Buddha's teaching. So there are some chapters dedicated to explain, such as the Buddha is the greatest psychologist, and the Buddha is the greatest psychiatrist. So such a topic, covers valuable and insightful messages, characteristics of the Buddha's life. So moving to the next item of our agenda is a short speech by Athuraliye Anandanayaka Thera from Sri Lanka. He is the abbot of Galkissa Dakshinarama, which is the original temple of Bhante Sirinanda. And Athuraliye Anandanayaka Thera is the monastic teacher of Bhante Sirinanda. So he has enormous respect to his teacher, and he wanted him to invite and be a part of this special event. So I respectfully invite Bhante Anandanayaka Thera to address the audience.
අත්ලන්ති දේවාල බෞද්ධ මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ ආරම්භ කරන්නේ. ඒක තමයි මූලික අනුශාසනා පුරෝගාමී අපේ කැනඩාවේ වගේම හැකිපෙක් අතරේ වාසය කරන කායික පිරිසකින් ප්‍රසාදයේ විනාශ බව දැක්කා. ඒ රටේ 2018 වර්ෂයේ පාදේශාවේ ඒ කායික පුදුම සතුටකින් අන්තර ආරම්භක නිසා විශාල සේවයක් කරන ආත්මය පසුපසලා දැක්කා. ඒ කොහොමද මේ අවස්ථින දුප්පත්වල ජනතාව බෞද්ධ ජනතාව බෞද්ධ ජනතාව උපේක්ෂා ලංකාවේ වාසය කරන සෑම අවස්ථාවකදීම අපේ ගායකයන්වත් විශ්වවිද්‍යාල නිසා මට සතුටුයි සපදාන සමදාන විනාශ කියන අර්ථය අනුව අද අපේ ජීවිතයේ විශ්වවිද්‍යාල මහත්සේ නරේගම සරණ කළ නායකයන්ගේ අතිත බුදුහාමුදුරුවෝ කියන ගාන්තය ඉංග්‍රීසි භාෂාව පරිවර්තනය කළා. පෙරදිගින් අවරදිගට බුදුදහම ප්‍රචලිත කිරීමේ අදහසින් මේ නිර්මාණය කළා. අද උන්වහන්සේගේ උපස්ථිතිය සලස්වී මේ ප්‍රොජෙක්ට් සඳහා අතුරු කිරීම පිළිබඳව මා උන්වහන්සේ සතුටු වෙනවා. මගේ ශිෂ්‍යවරයන් වහන්සේනම අද කැනඩාවේ හැරිටේජ් නගරයේ විහාරස්ථානයේ සම්බන්ධ දුවාගේම ඒ විමුක්තියේ ප්‍රසාදයේ විහාරයේ ක්‍රියාකාරී විශේෂයෙන් ආර්ථිකයේ සමෘද්ධිය ජීවනයේ සම්පූර්ණ වගේ අදම සතුට වෙනවා. විශේෂයෙන් මෙවැනි නිර්මාණය කරන්නේ ඇතුළීම දුවාගේම මధుරීකේදී මැදදී අද විශ්වය ආරක්ෂා කරමින් සාත්‍රයට වැඩා විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා. මේ වසර 25 අපේකට අපේ සින්නන්ද ශිෂ්‍යවෘත්තියන් මන්සේට සුවම් කරනවා. කැනඩාවේ විහාරස්ථානයේ ආරම්භය වගේ මත වටිනා ගාන්තයක් ඕකේට අතිරික්ත කිරීමේ කාර්යය වටිනා ආකාරයේ සම්බන්ධ කරලා ඉදිරියට ඒ වෙනුවෙන් වටිනා
I see the happiness on Bhante Sirinanda's teacher's face, seeing the progress of Bhante Sirinanda and the valuable service that he's providing to many Buddhist and non-Buddhist communities in Canada. Thank you so much, Naika Hamdru, for your presence and giving us a short talk. And it's early morning in Sri Lanka, even though it's early morning, that you took this time to be part of this special event. And we thank you for that. We have come to the end of our special event, the book launch, which is the translated book of Budu Hamdru. The author, the translated, the book name is The Gautama Buddha. And we especially thank Bhante Sirinanda for translating this book. And I'm sure this book will be a great door for many, those who are interested in knowing who the Buddha was and what was his teachings. So the next item of our agenda is a vote of thanks. I would like to cordially invite Dr. Indra Veerasinghe to deliver the vote of thanks. Dr. Indra Veerasinghe is a retired principal research scientist in oil and food chemistry. He is the current vice president of the Atlantic Theravada Buddhist Society, and he's a good friend of us. So thank you for joining with us today, and please take this moment to do the word of thanks.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Good evening, all reverends and ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and a privilege to have been asked to give a vote of thanks at this very special event. First of all, I would like to express our deep sense of appreciation and gratitude to our most venerable Dr. Mawale Badyathara for taking Reverend's busiest and precious time for gracing this occasion. It was very inspiring, marvelous speech, and we are very fortunate to listen to the Reverend as always. Thanks immensely to Mr. Don Gunasekara, our dear Gunasekara Ayya, for introducing the Reverend to us tonight and always. We really appreciate it. Our sincere thanks are also due to our other keynote speaker, Dr. Asanga Tilakaratne, for the fantastic and fabulous speech. Although there was a little technical difficulty, we were able to understand his speech. It was with great insight. You gave us a detailed background, not only about the book, but also with the basic Buddhist background, including the part to Nibbana. It was wonderful. I appreciate your vast and deep knowledge in Buddha Dhamma. I hope we will be able to meet one day a person like such an intellectual person. Thank you, Doctor, again. I really appreciate with great gratitude to Dr. Arunika Gunawardana introducing Dr. Asanga to us tonight. Thank you again, Arunika. I also wish to express our sincere thanks and uttermost gratitude our most venerable Ahangama Ratnasiri Nayaka Thera, Abbot of Toronto Mahavihara, and the Chief Sanganayaka Thera in Toronto, Canada, for the nice, soothing, and very inspiring words. We have always been fortunate enough to be influenced and guided by such a great spiritual leader. Our deepest and sincere thanks are also due to the most venerable Athuraliye Ananda Thera, Abbot of Dakshinarama Temple, Mount Lavinium, Sri Lanka. I am very sure that the Reverend is very proud of the student, his great achievement of Reverend Sirananda Thera tonight. Thanks immensely to our own Reverend Sirananda Thera for introducing such a great, brilliant book that may inspire and enlighten the Western world. This kind of books are very much sought and needed at this time, and it has come to Dodo at the right and very appropriate time. May the Reverend have long life with good health and spiritual, starting today the new life on your birthday. Thanks are also due to our own Reverend Sudhamma Thera, being such a great brotherhood monk to Reverend Sirananda Thera. Dr. Manju Abeysekara, Dr. Swarna Veerasinghe, Dr. Swarna Veerasinghe, Mr. Ranjit Dayasundara, and Dragan are also acknowledged with much gratitude for their support during the preparation of this book. Our sincere thanks are also due to Mr. Gihan Ubesena and Nadika Veerasekara family for their generous support in printing the first set of books. A great big acknowledgement and thank also to our dear friend Shaminder for his all IT and technical support and marvelous support to make this event a big success, running smoothly. Also, I should not forget our our Reverend Vijitha Thera for being such a great moderator tonight. Last but not least, I would like to thank all who participated tonight and all devotees of the Atlantic Theravada Buddhist Meditation Center and Atlantic, Canada. Thank you all great speakers and presenters. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indra Veerasinghe. And so that is the end of our event and the book launch of the Buddha. And again, I would like to extend my appreciation on behalf of Bhante Sirinanda for joining on in this special event. Again, if you would like to receive a copy of this book, please log into the link and put your information. And also there's a section that you can make donations, and Bhante Sirinanda is expecting to make copies available for free in institutions such as prisons, and for those who are interested learning the Buddha and learning the Buddhist teachings. Again, thank you so much for your presence. I wish you all the blessings of the Buddha, blessings of his noble teaching, and the blessings of the noble Sangha. And you have a wonderful evening.